Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
This chapter describes the descendants of Devodasa. It also describes Jarasandha, who belonged to the Riksha dynasty, as well as Duryodhana, Arjuna, and others. The son of Devodasa was Mitrayu, who had four sons, one after another: Jayavana, Sudasa, Sahadeva, and Somaka. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prisata, from whom Drupada was born. Draupada's daughter was Draupadi, and his sons were headed by Dristadumna. Dristadumna's son was Drishtaketu. Another son of Ajamida was named Riksha. From Riksha came a son named Samvarana, and from Samvarana came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had four sons: Parikshi, Sudanu, Janu, and Nishada. Among the descendants in the dynasty from Sudanu were Suhotra, Shayavana, Kriti, and Uparichara Vasu. The sons of Uparichara Vasu, including Brihadrata, Kusumba, Matsya, Pratyagra, and Sedipa, became kings of the Chedi state. In the dynasty from Brihadrata came Kushagra, Rishabha, Satyahita, Pushpavana, and Jahu. And from Brihadrata, through the womb of another wife, came Jarasandha, who was followed by Sahadeva, Somakli, and Shrutasrava. Parikshit, the son of Kuru, uh, had no sons. Among the descendants of Janu were Surata, Vidurata, Sarvabhauma, Jayasena, Radhika, Ayutthaya, Akrodana, Devatiti, Riksha, Dilipa, and Prati, Pratipa. The sons of Pratipa were Devapi, Santanu, and Bhavika. When Devapi retired to the forest, his younger brother, Santanu, became the king. Although Santanu, being younger, was not eligible to occupy the throne, he disregarded his elder brother. Consequently, there was no rainfall for 12 years. Wow. Following the advice of the Brahmanas, Santanu was ready to return the kingdom to Devapi, but by the intrigue of Santanu's minister, Devapi became unfit to be king. Therefore, Santanu resumed charge of the kingdom and ran and resumed charge of the kingdom and reign fell properly during his regime. By mystic power, Devapi still lives in the village known as Kalapa Grama. In this Kali Yuga, when the descendants of Soma, known as Kalapa Grama, Kalapa Grama, in this Kali Yuga, when the descendants of Soma, Soma, known as the Chandra Vamsa, the lunar dynasty, die out, Devapi at the beginning of Satya Yuga will reestablish the dynasty of the moon. The wife of Santanu, named Ganga, gave birth to Bhisma, one of the 12 authorities, two sons named Chitrangada and Vichitravirya were also born from the womb of Satyavati by the semen of Santanu, and Vyasadeva was born from Satyavati. And Vyasadeva was born from Satyavati by the semen of Parasara. Vyasadeva instructed the history of the Bhagavatam to his son Sukadeva. Through the womb of the two wives and the maidservant of Vichitravirya, Vyasadeva begot Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Dhritarashtra had 100 sons, headed by Duryodhana, and one daughter named Dusala. Pandu had 5 sons, headed by Yudhishthira, and each of these 5 sons had one son from Draupadi. The names of these sons of Draupadi were Prativindya, Shudrasena, Shrutakirti, Satanika, and Shruta-karma. Besides these 5 sons, by other wives, the Pandavas had many other sons, such as Devaka, Gatochata, Gato, I'm sorry, Gata, Gata, Gato, Gatotkacha, Sarvagata, Suhotra, Nara Mitra, Iravan, Babruvahan, and Abhimanyu. From Abhimanyu, Maharaj Parikshit was born, and Maharaj Parikshit had 4 sons, Janmanjaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, and Ugrasena. Next, Sukadev Goswami described the future sons of the Pandu family. From Janamajaya, he said, would come a son named Satanika, and following in the dynasty would be Sahasranika, Aswamedaja, Asimamakrishna, and Nem Chakra, Chitrata, Sachirata, Vristiman, Susena, Sunita, Nirchaksu, Sukinala, Pariplava, Sunaya, Medhavi, Nipanjaya, Dhruva, Tami, Bhadratha, Sudasa, Satanika, Durdamana, Maharaj, Dandapani, Nimi, and Shemaka. Sukadeva Goswami then predicted the kings of the Magadha Vamsa or Magadha dynasty. Sahadeva, the son of Jarasandha, would beget Marjorie, and from him would come Shutasrava. Consequently, taking birth in the dynasty will be Yudhaya, Niramitra, Sunakshatra, Brihatsena, Karmajit, Sutanjaya, Vipra, Suchi, Shema, Suvrata, Dharma Sutra, Sarna, Duyat Sena, Sumati, Subala, Sunita, Satyajit, Vishwajit, and Ripunajaya Deva. Ripunajaya. Text 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, O king, the son of Devodasa was Mitrayu, and from Mitrayu came 4 sons, named Shayavana, Sudasa, Sahadeva, and Somaka. Somaka was the father of Jantu. Text 2. Somaka had 100 sons, of whom the youngest was Prisata. From Prisata was born King Drupada, who was eminent, who was opulent in all supremacy. Text 3. From Maharaja Drupada was born. Maharaja Drupada also had many sons, headed by Dristadumna. From Dristadumna came a son named Dristaketu. All these personalities are known as descendants. of Brahmyaswava, or the dynasty of Panchala, Panchala, text 4 and 5. Another son of Ajamida was known as Riksha. From Riksha came a son named Samvarana, and from Samvarana, through the womb of his wife, Tapati, the daughter of the sun god, came Kuru, the king of Kurukshetra. Kuru had four sons, Parikshi, Sudanu, Janu, and Nisada. From Sudana, Suhotra was born, and from Suhotra, Chayavana. From Chayavana, Kriti was born. Text number 6. The son of Kriti was Uparichara Vasu, and among his sons, headed by Brihadratha, were Kusamba, Matsya, Pratyagra, and Chedipa, all the sons of Uparichara Vasu became rulers of the Shady state. Shady state. Text 7. One second. From Bihadrata, Kusagra was born. Kusagra was born. From Kusagra, Rishabha, and from Rishabha, Satyahita. The son of Satyahita was Pushpavana, and the son of Pushpavana was Shahu. Text number 8. Through the womb of another mother, Brihadrata begot two halves of a son. When the mother saw those two halves, she rejected them. But later, a she demon named Jara playfully joined them and said, "Come to life, come to life." Thus the son named Jarahata was born. Text number 9. From Jarasandha came a son named Sahadeva. From Sahadeva, Somapi, and from Somapi, Satya, and from Somapi, Shrutasrava, the son of Kuru called Pariksi, had no sons, but the son of Kuru called Janu had a son named Surata. Text 10. From Surata came a son named Vidurata, and from whom Sarvabhauma was born. From Sarvabhauma came Jayasena. From Jayasena, Radhika, and from Radhika, Audya, and from Radhika, Ayutthaya. Text 11. From Ayutthaya came a son named Akrodana, and his son was Devatiti. The son of Devatiti was Riksha. The son of Riksha was Dilipa, and the son of Dilipa was Pratipa. Text 12 and 13. The sons of Pratipa were Devapi, Santanu, Valika. Valika. Devapi left the kingdom of his father and went to the forest, and therefore Santanu became the king. Santanu, who in his previous birth was known as Mahabisha, had the ability to transform anyone from old age to youth. Oh, well, that's very good. Simply by touching that person with his hands. Wow, how about that? Text 14 and 15. Because the king was able to make everyone happy for sense gratification, primarily by the touch of his hand, his name was Santanu. Once, when there was no rainfall in the kingdom for 12 years, and the king consulted his learned Brahminical advisors, they said, "You are faulty for enjoying the property of your elder brother. For the elevation of your kingdom and home, you should return the kingdom to him." No, him meaning his brother. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. One cannot enjoy sovereignty or perform an Agnihotra yajna in the presence of one's elder brother, or else one becomes an usurper known as Hariveta. Text 16 and 17. When the Brahmanas said this, Maharaj Santanu went to the forest and requested his elder brother Devapi to take charge of the kingdom, for it is the duty of a king to maintain his subjects. Previously, however, Santanu's minister Asvavara had instigated some brahmanas to induce Devapi to transgress the injunctions of the Vedas and thus make him unfit for the post of ruler. The Brahmanas deviated Devapi from the path of the Vedic principles. Therefore, when asked by Santanu, he did not agree to accept the post of ruler. On the contrary, he blasphemed the Vedic principles and therefore became fallen. Under the circumstances, Santanu again became the king, and Indra, being pleased, showered rains. Devapi later took to the path of mystic yoga to control his mind and senses and went to the village named Kalapagrama, where he is still living. Okay. Text 18 and 19. After the dynasty of the moon god comes to an end in this age of Kali, Devapi, in the beginning of the next Satya Yuga, will reestablish the Soma. One second. Reestablish the Soma dynasty in this world. From Balika, the brother of Santanu, came a son named Somadatta, who had three sons named Buri, Bhurishrava, Sala. From Santanu, through the womb of his wife, came Ganga, came Bhisma, the exalted, self-realized devotee and learned scholar. Text 20. Bhisma Deva was the foremost of all warriors when he defeated Lord Parashurama in a fight. Lord Parashurama was very satisfied with him. By the semen of Santanu in the womb of Satyavati, the daughter of a fisherman, Chitrangada took birth. Satyavati was actually the daughter of Uparichara Vasu by the womb of a fisherwoman known as Matsyagarbha. Later, Satyavati was raised by a fisherman. The fight between Parashurama and Bhismadeva concerns three daughters of Kasir Raja. They are Ambika, Ambalika, and Amba, who were forcibly abducted by Bhismadeva, acting on behalf of his brother Vichitravirya. Amba thought that Bhismadeva would marry her and became attached to him, but Bhismadeva refused to marry her, for he had taken the vow of brahmacharya. Amba therefore approached Bhismadeva's military spiritual master, Parashurama, who instructed Bhisma to marry her. Bhismadeva refused, and therefore Parashurama fought with him to force him to accept the marriage. But Parashurama was defeated, and he was pleased with Bhisma. Okay, text number 21 to 24. Okay, 1 second. Chitrangada, of whom Vichitravirya was the younger brother, was killed by a Gandharva who was also named Chitrangada. Satyavati, before her marriage to Santanu, gave birth to the master authority of the Vedas. Vyasadeva, known as Krishna Dvaipayana, who was begotten by Parasara Muni. For the Vyasadeva, I, Sukadeva Goswami, was born, and from him I studied this great work of literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. The incarnation of Godhead, Veda Vyasa, rejected his disciples, headed by Haila, instructed Srimad Bhagavatam to me because I was free from all material desires. After Ambika and Ambalika, the two daughters of Kashiraja, were taken away by force, Vichitravirya married them, but because he was too attached to these two wives, he had a heart attack and died of tuberculosis. Wow. Text 25. Vadarayana, she, Vyasadeva, following the order of his mother, Satyavati, begot three sons, two by the womb of Ambika and Ambalika. The two wives of his brother, Vichitravirya, and the third by Vichitravirya's maidservant. These sons were Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidura. Purport. By His divine grace, is Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Vichitravirya died of tuberculosis. Wow, it's sad. And his wives, Ambika and Ambalika, had no issue. Therefore, after Vichitravirya death, his mother, Satyavati, who was the mother of Vyasadeva, asked Vyasadeva to beget children through the wives of Vichitravirya. In those days, the brother of the husband could beget children through the womb of his sister-in-law. This was known as Devarena Sutotpati. If the husband was somehow unable to beget children, his brother could do so through the womb of his sister-in-law. This Devarena Sutotpati and the sacrifices of Aswamedha and Gomedha are forbidden in the age of Kali. Aswamedham Gavalambam Sanyasam Pala Paitrikam Devarena Sutot Patim Kalo Pancha Vivarjayet. In this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa, the offering of oblations of flesh to the force. One second. The offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children in his brother's wife. So in other words, it's saying, in this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and a man's begetting children in his brother's wife.
One quick question, Maharaj.
Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Yes.
One quick question, Maharaj. This one line says the acceptance of order of sannyasa. That is also forbidden. So, but sannyasa, like sannyasi is still in Kali Yuga. So, what does it mean? The acceptance of the order of sannyasa is also forbidden.
One second. Let me just look at this. There are 5 acts are forbidden: the offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa. Okay, so when it's saying that, because wow. Oh, 1 second. I used to know. Wait, just 1 second. The acceptance of it. Yeah. So in this age of Kali, the acceptance of the order of sannyasa is one of the things that is forbidden, but that sannyasa is why is that? It's sure I used to know that.
We can search, Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so text 26. Dhritarashtra's wife, Gandhari, gave birth to 100 sons and one daughter, O king. The oldest of the sons was Duryodhana, and the daughter's name was Dusala. Text 27 and 28. Pandu was restrained from sexual life because of having been cursed by a sage, and therefore his three sons, Yudhishthira, Bhima, and Arjuna, were begotten through the womb of his wife Kunti by Dharmaraja, by the demigod controlling the wind, and by the demigod controlling the rain. Pandu's second wife, Madri, gave birth to Nakula and Sahadeva, who were begotten by the two Aswini Kumaras. The five brothers, headed by Yudhishthira, begot 5 sons through the womb of Draupadi. These 5 sons were your uncles. Text 29. From Yudhishthira came a son named Prativindya. From Bhima, a son named Shrutasena. From Arjuna, a son named Shrutakirti. And from Nakula, a son named Satanika. Text 30 and 31. O king, the son of Sahadeva was Shrutakarma. Furthermore, Yudhishthira and his brothers begot other sons and other wives. Yudhishthira begot a son named Devaka through the womb of Puravi. Bhimasena begot a son named Tatotkacha through his wife Hindimba, and a son named Sarvagata through his wife Kali. Similarly, Sahadeva had a son named Suhotra through his wife named Vijaya, who was the daughter of the king of the mountains. Text 32. Nakula begot a son named Naramitra through his wife named Karenumati. Similarly, Arjuna begot a son named Iravan through his wife known as Ulupi, the daughter of the Nagas, and a son named Babruvahana by the womb of the princess of Manipura. Babruvahana became the adopted son of the king of Manipura. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is to be understood that Parvati is the daughter of the king of the very, very old mountainous country known as Manipura state. 5,000 years ago, therefore, when the Pandavas ruled, Manipura existed, as did its king. Therefore, this kingdom is very old, aristocratic Vaishnava kingdom. If this kingdom is organized as Vaishnava state, as a Vaishnava state, the revelation, no, the revitalization will be a great success because for 5,000 years this state has maintained its identity. Wow. If the Vaishnava spirit is revived there, it will be a wonderful place, renowned throughout the entire world. Manipuri Vaishnavas are very famous in Vaishnava society. In Vrindavana and Navadvipa, there are many temples constructed by the king of Manipura. Some of our devotees belong to Manipura state. The king consciousness movement, therefore, cannot be well spread in the state of Manipura by the cooperative efforts of the king, of the Krishna conscious devotees. By the cooperative efforts of the Krishna conscious devotees. The Krishna conscious movement, therefore, can be well spread in the state of Manipura by the cooperative efforts of the Krishna conscious devotees. Okay. Text 33. My dear King Parikshit, your father, Abhimanyu, was born from the womb of Subhadra as the son of Arjuna. He was the conqueror of all Atiratas, those who could fight with 1,000 charioteers. From him, by the womb of Uttara, the daughter of Virat Raja, you were born. Text 34. After the Kuru dynasty was annihilated in the battle of Kurukshetra, you also were about to be destroyed by the Brahmastra atomic weapon, released by the son of Dronacharya, but by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, you were saved from death. Okay, 635. My dear king, your forefathers, your four sons, Janmanjaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, and Ugrasena, are very powerful. Janmanjaya is the eldest. Text 36. Because of your death by Takshaka snake, your son Janmejaya will be very angry and will perform a sacrifice to kill all the snakes in the world. Text 37. After conquering throughout the world, and after accepting Tura, the son of Kalasa, as his priest, Janmejaya will perform Ashwamedha Yagyas, for which he will be known as Turaga Medasat. Text 38. The son of Janamanjaya, known as Satanika, will learn from Yajnavalkya the three Vedas and the art of performing ritualistic ceremonies. He will also learn the military art from Kripacharya and the transcendental science from the sage Sonaka. Text 39. The son of Satanika will be Sahasranika, and from him will come the son named Aswamedhaja. From Aswamedhaja will come Asima Krishna, and his son will be Nemi Chakra. Text 40. When the town of Hastinapura, New Delhi, is inundated by the river, Nemi Chakra will live in the place known as Kosambi. His son will be celebrated as Chitraratha, and the son of Chitraratha will be Sachiratha. Text 41. From Suchirata will come the son named Ristiman, and his son Susena will be the emperor of the entire world. The son of Susena will be Sunita. His son will be Nrichaksu, and from Nrichaksu will come a son named Sukinala. Text 42. The son of Sukinala will be Pariplava, and his son will be Sunaya. From Sunaya will come a son named Medhavi, and from Medhavi, Nipanjaya. From Nipanjaya, Dhruva, and from Dhruva, Timi. Text 43. From Timi will come Brihadrata, and from Brihadrata, Sudasa, and from Sudasa, Satanika. From Satanika will come Durmadama, and from him will come a son named Mahinara. Text 44 and 45. The son of Mahinara will be Dandapani, and his son will be Nimi, from whom King Shemaka will be born. I have now described to you the moon god's dynasty, which is the source of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, and is worshipped by demigods and great saints. In this Kali Yuga, Shemaka will be the last monarch. Now I shall describe to you the future of the Magadha dynasty. Please listen. Okay. Text 46 to 48. Sahadeva, the son of Jarasandha, will have a son named Marjari. From Marjari will come Shrutas Rava. From Shrutas Rava, Utayu, and from Utayu, Niramitra. The son of Niramitra will be Sunakshatra. From Sunakshatra will come Brihatsena, and from Brihatsena, Karmajit. The son of Karmajit will be Sutanjaya. The son of Sutanjaya will be Vipra, and his son will be Suchi. The son of Suchi will be Shema. The son of Shema will be Subhadra. And the son of Subhadra will be Dhritarashtra. From the Dharma Sutra will come Sama. From Sama. Do Matsena. I'm sorry. That's right. From Dharma Sutra will come Sama. From Sama, Do Matsena. From Do Matsena, Sumati. And from Sumati, Subala. Text 49. From Subala will come Sunita. From Sunita, Satyajit. From Satyajit, Visvajit. And from Visvajit, Ripunjaya. All of these personalities will belong to the dynasty of Brihadrata, which will rule the world for 1,000 years. This is the history of the monarchy that began with Jarasandha and continues for 1,000 years as the above mentioned kings appear on the surface of the globe. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the ninth canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Descendants of Ajamila.
Ajamida.
I'm sorry, The Descendants of Ajamida. Okay, what time is I think our time is up.
Yes, ma'am. You're right.
All right, well, we'll stop there. And tomorrow we'll start with chapter 23, the dynasties of the sons of Yayati. Are there any questions, comments? Questions or comments? Well, one takeaway is the following, that all this knowledge of dynasties is the proof that the uh, the Vedic history is profound, very, very, let's say, uh, complete, and no other dynasty is as thorough and complete uh, than what we're reading. Nowadays, people, they can go back one or two, maybe three, maybe four generations. Here, we're hearing tremendous number of generations of history of the spiritual, of the material world. So, and also the spiritual world. So that means that there's no other books that are equal to this. They may have a few dynasties and going back for a few years or a few histories, but nothing as what we're hearing. What we're hearing is very high level history, and no other, let's say, spiritual movement can have such exacting history. Just imagine, look at all the history that we're reading. It's amazing. And it goes back for thousands and thousands of years. So we have to thank the Vaishnava Acharyas and especially Srila Prabhupada for taking the time to give us all this history. Okay. All praise to Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So Maharaj, I have asked ChatGPT the same question about the sannyasi. So it has given some references what Prabhupada talked about.
Yeah, go ahead.
So it says, people in Kali Yuga lack the necessary qualification. So Srila Prabhupada describes Kali Yuga as an age of short life, weak memory, disturbed minds, strong influence of lust and greed.
Okay.
Because of this, strict renunciation is extremely difficult to maintain. So it says, in Kali Yuga, most people artificially accept the dress of sannyasa
Uh-oh.
without inner realization.
Without what?
Inner realization.
What?
I-N-N-E-R. Inner.
Inert?
Not inert, just I-N-N-E-R. Inner. Inside. The without inner realization. I-N-N-E-R.
Inner.
Inner.
Okay.
Realization.
Yeah.
Which leads to hypocrisy and fall down.
Hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy and fall down.
Okay.
And there is one reference from Chaitanya Charitamrita
Yeah.
purport where Srila Prabhupada states that in Kali Yuga, people are not qualified to accept sannyasa and therefore it is forbidden.
Okay. But yet, he gave sannyasa to devotees.
Yes, Maharaj. So I have asked the same second question to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That the question was, then why did Srila Prabhupada gave sannyasa to some of his disciples? So the answer is, so sannyasa was given only for preaching, not for liberation. Srila Prabhupada did not give sannyasa as a journal ashrama for spiritual advancement. He gave it only as a functional tool to help spread Krishna consciousness. So one quote from one of the letter that Prabhupada wrote, quote, I am awarding sannyasa, Prabhupada saying, I am awarding sannyasa for preaching work. Otherwise, I do not recommend sannyasa.
Okay.
And next point, it says, this was an exception, not the rule.
Okay.
Srila Prabhupada explicitly acknowledged that this was a concession, not a contradiction of Shastra. So from another conversation, this is a quote. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has forbidden sannyasa in Kali Yuga, but for preaching work, sometimes it is required.
That's probably why I never took sannyasa.
And another point Maharaj says, the Grasta life is equally perfect.
Yeah. That's why I never took sannyasa, because
It's further states Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada strongly rejected the idea that sannyasa is spiritually superior in Kali Yuga.
right.
Now from one of the quote from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.1 purport, quote, it is not that without sannyasa one cannot become perfect. Anyone, grasta, vanprastha or sannyasi can go back to Godhead if he is sincere.
Exactly. That's why I never took sannyasa. And I don't think I'm going to take sannyasa. Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram.